I'm going to share all the wisdom and the knowledge that I've gained doing digital marketing for the last 8 years, almost 5 years full time. For many people that might be stuck in a job they don't like, stepping out on your own is stressful. I get it. I was there. The beautiful thing about digital marketing is as you're learning, as you're starting to generate revenue on the side, it is your side hustle. You still have your base salary or your income from your 9 to 5, quote unquote 9 to 5. Most people don't just work 9 to 5. If you are working for somebody else, typically you're working more than 40 hours a week. I know I was there with Target. I was working close to 70 hours a week. If you follow this channel for a while, you know my background, so I'm not going to go into that today. I'm going to teach you how just finding one solution to somebody else's problem, and it could be your problem, finding that one solution and then offering that solution to others that have the same issue, that is how you can get a life of freedom, both time and financial freedom. I have the newest iPhone, so I'm hoping I'm looking at the right one of the 3 cameras. This one's not scripted. I have no notes. You're just gonna hear everything that I have conscious flow of how I make money with a simple phone and a computer. In order to learn how I do things like this for clients, where I make revenue share off of these numbers, and this month is a great month, we're doing over 200,000. I have a 10% Rev Share deal, do the math. But if you go all the way back, the year was 2017. It was me on YouTube one day just scrolling. Let's be honest, I was doom scrolling, right? We all do it. Until we learn that producing is way better than consuming. No judgments though. If you're a doom scroller, I get it. I have YouTube Premium now, so I don't see ads, but back then I didn't. So like many of you, I waited for that 5-second timer so I could click the skip button. This one day though, back in 2017, I saw an ad. It was this guy drawing on a whiteboard, and for whatever reason, I didn't hit the skip button. It intrigued me and I kept listening to this guy. He was talking about how you can go after small businesses, brick and mortar businesses, like businesses that actually have a storefront. You can get right in the middle of that business and their potential customers, and you can help them by just doing some simple social media ads to help drive traffic to whatever their offer is. The better the offer, the more traffic you can drive. What this guy was saying made a lot of sense, and a couple weeks later I pulled the trigger on a $4,000 course to learn how to do this because I wanted to be out of the rat race. At the time, it was a huge investment. My wife and I had to pray about it. You know, there's no guarantees in this life. I could have just blown that whole 4,000. Thankfully, I did not. I learned what this guy was teaching about a simple lead generation strategy, and on day 4, I got my first client. It was a CrossFit gym. I walked into this gym and basically yelled at the owner, who happened to be sweeping up the floors in between CrossFit sessions. And I said, I can fill this gym with new members. If you got 5 minutes, I'll tell you how. Y'all, the confidence that I had back then, I had to like fake it, right? Because I had never taken on a client. I had never actually run paid ads for anybody. So I was just hoping that this course that had just taught me how to do this stuff was going to work. Thankfully it did. It was awesome. And to this day, that's one of my best testimonials. This guy sent me a text message about 2 weeks into the campaign we were running, and he said, it feels like we found a hack to the business world, because he was getting members right and left. And it was a great confidence booster for me because I had just dropped $4,000 and now I'm starting to make some of that money back, and it really wasn't that much effort. Then I got other clients, nail salon, I got a mortgage broker, I got 2 chiropractors, and I kept doing the same thing over and over because it was working. I would prospect, and I'll get into prospecting in this video. Then I would set up their funnels. I'll talk about that a little bit later. And then I would watch the fulfillment happen, meaning all of these people in the local area would see the ad, they would click on it, they would give the information to us, and then I would help my clients generate more revenue. They would pay me for my services. Typically, it's a retainer. So this model is MRR. It's monthly recurring revenue, and they're paying you a set fee every single month for you to build out the funnel and manage their ad spend every month. Not a hard process to learn. It doesn't take that much time, but I noticed something. Remember, I'm still working retail at the time, full time. So this was my side hustle. And I started to make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on the side. And that started me thinking, could I do this full time? You know, I had a wife and 3 kids at the time. Now we have 2 foster kids. So I got 7 mouths to feed in this house now, which is easy to do at this point, and you'll see how we get there. But back then I'm like, all right, this is great side income. This is actually money I can invest. I can get us out of debt. I can do lots of stuff with this extra $60,000 a year at that point. But then I started thinking, you know, if I freed up the 60 to 70 hours from retail, how big could I get? Like, how much could I scale this thing? Could I hit these numbers that I was always seeing online from people that are doing 6 figures a month, 7 figures a year? And I was still in the early days, so I wasn't sure if I could scale it. I had never done that, obviously. When you do something for the first time, clearly you're learning all along the way. You're learning the pitfalls to look out for, which is why I'm creating this video, because I know there's a lot of people that are watching this that would love to have a side hustle that just brings in extra income. Not everybody wants to leave their job. I know people that are doing digital marketing on the side because they enjoy it and it's nice extra income, but they love their career. Maybe they went to school for years. Maybe they're a doctor. They help people. They make an impact. I'm not saying other professions can't make an impact. Whatever you're doing is probably helping somebody, but you can help a lot more people at scale when you incorporate the internet. That's what I want to talk about now, because at a certain point in my career of digital marketing, I made a shift. Okay, it was a slight shift. I was doing the exact same thing, lead generation, right? Generating these leads for clients. But my clients were no longer brick and mortar buildings that relied on a local market, right? Think about a auto service center, right? Those are great to take on as clients because the offer is a free oil change at those places. You get a ton of traffic for free oil changes. And then when those people go into the service center, well, they might buy synthetic oil. That's an upgrade. They might need windshield wipers, or, they always hold up I had a guy hold up my air filter one time and it was pure white. I don't know if he thought I just didn't know what I was looking at, but I'm like, yeah, I bought that last time. And he's like, okay, just checking. Like, auto sales centers are amazing at sales. They are great salespeople because, they'll scare you, right? It's that fear of, hey, that sound, that hissing I heard when you drove in here. You want me to take a look at that? Well, what does that end up turning into? Well, you got to replace your brakes. You got suspension issues. You got, maybe an engine issue. That's where they make their money. It's the value ladder for a service center. But when I made the slight shift into what I call subject matter experts, I was now able to have no ceiling on what I could make. There was no longer a retainer model, it was a revenue share model. And when you go after somebody that has a large audience, whenever you help them productize their knowledge and then monetize their knowledge, that is a game changer. What do I mean by that? I'm going to take you, like I said, this is going to be a longer video. I've got a lot to share here. Get yourself a coffee. If you're on lunch break or something, just save this video, like it so you can go back to it. You're going to learn how just one solution for your clients can make all the difference for you and your family and how much you can actually bring home each year. Shifting. So going back to about 2019, I had been doing this business for roughly a year and a half before I was seriously contemplating leaving my retail job. I had 5-6 clients at the time, but I had no time because remember, this was still a side hustle. I was in a Facebook group for entrepreneurs. Okay, I'm scrolling down and I see this guy ask a simple question. Can somebody help us build a funnel to sell our Black Friday course about trading? That was the pivotal moment because I happen to like trading and investing. My grandfather got me into it. So I replied very quickly to this guy because I'm thinking, this can't be that different from a local brick and mortar. I'm going to be building out the same mechanisms, using the same strategy to generate leads and then sell a product. And this guy already has a huge audience. At the time, they had over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's a big audience. I'm in a tiny little town here in Tennessee. So any of the brick and mortar businesses that I'm helping, there's only like 9,000 people where I live. It might even be less than that. This guy has 100,000 devoted eyeballs, subscribers to his channel. So I jumped in a DM and I said, I can definitely help you with this. That was a game changer because that was the first client I got that wasn't a retainer. It was actually a revenue share agreement. And the first commission check that first month, $17,000. Now I knew I was on to something and I was teetering already on leaving my full-time job, but that clinched it for me. And it was only a few months later that I completely left retail. That was several years ago and I've been doing this full-time. What exactly am I doing for my clients? Okay, this is where the fun comes in because it's an art and a science. Okay, if you like art or science, you're gonna love doing this business because it's constantly challenging yourself and it's finding a new solution to a problem that either your clients have or that their audience has. And you're going right in the middle, just like the brick and mortar, you're going in the middle and you're helping solve a problem. So for traders, for instance, the problem's easy, right? They're not making the money that they want to make with trading. And so I come in and I say, okay, what type of teachings do you already have? What kind of lead magnets, right? You see these all the time. People are offering a free ebook or a PDF or a checklist about something. You give your information and now you're on their email list. That's it. Like, that's the ball game. Essentially, that's the first rung of it as you're going up this value ladder. You got the lead magnet. Listen up here, because this is going to be important information for you. There are over 500,000 YouTube channels right now in 2025 that have over 100,000 subscribers. There are 3.5 million new channels every single year coming to the YouTube platform. How many of them do you think actually stick with it and actually make money from Google AdSense by producing this content? Probably a very small percentage, but you don't need a big percentage. So 1% of 3.5 million is 35,000. Out of 35,000 channels that make it to, at least the monetization that they need, which is 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, how many of them could you get as clients and help them by being the middleman to find that one solution for their audience? There are countless niches. There are countless things that you're interested in. So if you're going after a client that has a skill that you're interested in or that you're also skilled in, it's a lay down sale. It's super simple to close that deal because you already speak the language. Maybe it's a hobby, right? Like, maybe you love to do woodworking. My brother loves to do woodworking. I've talked to him about this. I'm like, you need to start a YouTube channel. I will help you monetize it. I will do it for free, and let's just go nuts with this thing. Well, he's also an attorney, so he's got a full-time job, and I think one day he loves making these, wood pieces. He's very good at it. I think one day he probably will want to start creating his own content, and I will be there when he's ready, because I'm very good at this point at taking somebody that just has an idea and helping them to produce content around that idea, just like I'm doing now. Okay, the idea that I'm talking about here is you being able to make side income with digital marketing. What do you have in your life right now that you know that you could help me with? What are some things that you've learned? I mean, if you're over 20, 30, 40, 50, like, you have a lot of life skills. You have a lot of life knowledge. And you're like, nobody will pay me for that. Bruh, how many times have you bought something online? Some of y'all bought something today online, right? How many times have you purchased something that was a low ticket? So after lead magnets, you go up the value ladder and you hit the low ticket, okay? That's anything under $100. Let's do some simple math. I'm putting myself on the spot here because I'm just doing this in one take, so I don't have a calculator in front of me. Actually, I did this in my last video. Watch this one and I kind of break down the numbers on what's possible. You can help anybody that has an audience to sell their knowledge, okay? First, you have to productize it. You have to put it and package it in a way that's intriguing to the viewer, okay? Let's say it's a $7 ebook on the mistakes that you need to avoid before you buy your next house. Think of how many people are contemplating moving or buying a home. That little FOMO that you put as intrigue on the title of that ebook, if somebody's thinking about buying a house, well, shoot, let's say you sell it for $7. Is it worth $7 to that person that might be buying a home of, gosh, what are the 5 things that I don't know that might hurt me when I buy this home? Yeah, let me plop down this $7. And then what happens? They have the $7, that's a low ticket offer, right? Under $100. And then you can do so many things with digital marketing, with the technology we have. As soon as they buy that $7, you can actually add what's called an order bump, okay? What about a 3-hour course on how to buy your next home for less than what they're selling it for, right? If you have that knowledge, we'll sell that for $47. So now they bought the ebook for $7. A small percentage of the people that buy the ebook, this is just simple math, this is where the science comes in, they're going to buy the order bump, okay? So now it's what, $54, okay? And then that next page could be an upsell. Hey, I will one-on-one help you. $250, let's get on a 30-minute call. I will teach you the pitfalls to look out for before you buy that home. How many people will buy that $250 thing? I don't know, a percentage of the people that bought the $7 thing. So you don't even have to do paid ads to put this content out. This content I'm putting out right now, 100% free. It's just, it cost me my cell phone that I already have, that I'm already paying for the internet, right? So I'm just simply filming this, I'm putting this on the internet, and spoiler alert, I have an offer. Now, I know that most of you watching this are gonna get this knowledge and you're gonna run with it. There's a lot of information on the internet you don't need to pay for. What do people pay for? Well, they pay for speed. They pay for proximity to a mentor, somebody that's been there, done that can help them, again, speed the process up so that they don't make the mistakes that most people make, like I made early on when I had never done anything. Thankfully, this business is not that hard, and so there's few places that you can actually make mistakes. The offer that you give to clients, you got to solidify that. You got to be able to intrigue them, prospecting, and again, we're going to talk about that in a second. And then you got to be able to perform for them, to fulfill on the promises that they're paying you for. So being able to build the funnels. Most of these funnels I build, they're like 2 and 3 step funnels. They're not elaborate. They don't need to be. Did you know that 80% of the people that hit a landing page or a website, they never scroll past what's called the hero, or not the hero section, that is part of it, the hero section, but it's above the fold. Think about newspapers back in the day. The real estate they had to intrigue someone to want to pay that 25 cents or 50 cents, in that little newspaper thing that you put the coins into and you pull it out. I haven't seen one of those in a long time, but above the fold is all they can see. And so what needed to intrigue them? The headline, right? Whatever image is at the top, maybe whatever text they could read in above the fold, that made the decision, do I want to take the next step? Do I want to buy this thing? Same with your website, same with your landing pages. Can you intrigue them as soon as that page loads? What do they see? What is the headline? Is it grabbing enough, right? What is the subheadline? What image do you have? Can they see themselves getting help? If so, then they will be the 20% that keep scrolling down the page till they get to the point where they can actually take action. Now, here's a pro tip. If you're doing a lead magnet on a simple opt-in page, have the form above the fold. As soon as they hit that page, they need to be able to take action. Put their name, email, maybe a phone number, and get that thing. And then the thank you page, the page they go to next, they're redirected to after they put their contact information in. Give them the thing. Like, no matter who your client is, don't make them wait for the thing that they want. Don't say, check your email in a few minutes, it's going to come. No, just give them the link to whatever the thing is there, because most of the time, what I'm selling for my clients is not physical products. It's digital products that they can get instant access to. And if someone's paying $7, give them instant access. If someone's wanting something for free, instant access. Someone's paying $3,000, instant access. And as you go up the value ladder, the prices obviously go up. Low ticket, under $100. Mid ticket, up to $1,000. High ticket is over $1,000. Now, a lot of people might say, it's $2,000, $3,000 is a threshold. And I used to disagree with them. Now I agree with them, because we just had a sale for one of my clients this month in July where we did over $200,000 on a product that was $2,497, right? $2,497. And we got 70 sales at that price point without needing a sales call, without needing a closer or a sales team. Okay, so I know that there is a percentage of the population out there where money is no object. At least it's not enough of objection for them to buy the thing that is X amount of dollars. Okay, some people don't have $2,497 to drop down on a program or a course. I get it. Other people don't have $50,000 to join a mastermind, but some do. If the person that has unlimited resources has a problem, well, what are they going to do to solve that problem? If you're charging X amount of dollars, again, the dollar amount doesn't really matter. They just want their problem solved, so they will pay for that. And when we're talking about these YouTubers with these tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of subscribers, what percentage of that audience has to actually buy that thing? A very small percentage. Like I said, this client that I'm talking about, where we sold 70 of this thing at $2,500, you do the math there. Now, 70 at that price point might seem like a lot. This person has over 300,000 subscribers just on YouTube. Do the math. What is 70 of 300,000? It's super tiny. It's like 0.00 something percent, right? But that's all we need to have our best month ever. I'll pull this chart up again. I've taken this client from the beginning and have scaled them to this point. I've done this several times with a lot of clients in different industries. If you go back through my videos, I talk about lots of different clients, and I just took on another client a couple weeks ago in an industry I've never even touched. It's in the health industry, and it's gonna still work because I'm helping them to scale strategically what I've learned how to do over the years. Let's go back to prospecting. You might be thinking, Evan, this is all great. I really don't know where to start. Okay, I don't know how to get somebody to want to work with me. Well, I have something that I teach. It's called the Illuminator strategy. Here, this video right here can teach you how to prospect. It's a very simple strategy that I learned because I was consulting with a store that sold hot tubs, okay? Back to my brick and mortar days, I was consulting, helping them with digital marketing, and I started inadvertently helping them with their sales process in the store. Because what I noticed is people would come into this store, they would look at these hot tubs, and the salespeople they wouldn't engage them much, or they would try to like push them into one particular model. Well, you have to understand that when you're prospecting, it's not about what you want. It's not about what you think is best. It's what the consumer needs. It's what they want. You will never know that unless you ask them questions. So in the prospecting phase, we do what's called a discovery call, right? Where we're asking questions. I have to understand what one solution they're wanting to pay me for. And if I'm like, hey, this is great. I looked at your website. You need a new website. Like I can do that for you. You know, I can charge, $4,000 or $5,000. Let's get you an amazing website. Well, for all I know, they just bought a website last year. They're not looking to pay for another website, and that website probably isn't producing any ROI, return on investment for them anyway. So they're like, yeah, no, I'm good. Or I could come in hot and say like, hey, I can do your social media marketing for you. I'll do all the posts and all that stuff. They could have somebody as a receptionist that's wearing that hat that's doing the post for them. They're like, yeah, we don't need that. I can be like, hey, I can fill your calendar with new patients next month. Got 10 minutes? I'll tell you how. Do you need to do that? That might be what they need, but I won't ever know that unless I ask a lot of questions, okay? The discovery call is all about trying to find that gold nugget that I can latch onto so that I can sell them all my services. And at this point, I can do pretty much anything for clients. When I work with subject matter experts, I do everything for a lot of them, okay? Because most of these YouTubers, and it doesn't just have to be YouTube, right? People that have large audiences on any platform, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, even LinkedIn, X, you can help all of them because they already have an audience that's intrigued by what they're talking about. So then you help them first productize their knowledge. Again, maybe helping them create a lead magnet, maybe helping them create their first course, maybe helping them go even higher. Let's say they have lead magnets and they have a low ticket offer, but they're missing mid ticket and high ticket. That's a lot of money they're leaving on the table. The way that I intrigue people to work with me is two things: more money or more impact. Whoever you're talking to either wants one or both. Not every YouTuber is intrigued by more money. They might have great revenue coming in. If you have a YouTuber with millions of subscribers, look at Ryan Trahan. He's doing an amazing job with this 50 States in 50 Days series. Comment below if you've seen that thing. It's great. And he's just point, click, shoot. And they're helping raise money for St. Jude, okay? All the money, all the donations that come in is not going to Ryan. Why? Well, because Ryan's good. He's got millions of subscribers at this point. He's got over 20 million subscribers. He's doing just fine with Google AdSense revenue. So now what matters to him? Impact. Okay? So figuring out what is going to move the needle for them might not be money, might be impact. At the beginning, it might be money. It might be like, hey, I just monetized my channel. I'm making about $700-800 a month, but I didn't know that I could make money, selling things. I don't know how to do that. Can you help me? I'm like, heck yeah, let's go. Because I know the value ladder. I know we can start with a lead magnet. We can start building our email list. Email lists are gold. I mean, they are absolute gold mines because most people don't make a decision like a impulse buy at a checkout, right? Like, hey, let me get this gun. Let me get this thing. A lot of people don't do that. Some people do. Again, it's percentages. Whenever I do this, I'm talking about a funnel, and we use funnel language a lot. All these awards, click funnels. I learned this from the best, right? Well, at the top of a funnel is awareness. Before people know that my clients exist, obviously they're not going to buy anything from them. So you got to get them to be aware of your client. The good news for me in working with these subject matter experts, that's already taken care of. They already have a channel that has a lot of eyeballs on it already. They've learned how to point, click, shoot. Okay, they've learned how to edit videos. They've learned how to be good on camera, or they wouldn't have all these subscribers, right? So that part's done. It's easy. Like the awareness mechanism is already in place. But that next level down is interest. Well, interest in what? Whatever it is that we're wanting to sell at the end of this rainbow, right? Then there is intent, and then you get down to evaluation. Well, I want to buy this thing, but I don't know if I want it from this guy or from this guy, right? And then you go down a little bit further and you have the actual purchase. The same thing happens with e-commerce. Let's say you want to buy a pair of shoes. You're thinking, my shoes are kind of wearing out. Then you see a shoe ad. Maybe it's On Cloud. They do great at social media marketing. Brooks, I have their newest pair, Ghost. I love it. It is very comfortable. And so when I was going down their funnel, the first time I saw Brooks shoes, I didn't know what they were, right? You become aware of that brand. And then, I'm kind of interested in this. Let me click on the link. Let me go to their website and see this stuff. Oh, that's pretty cool. Then I go to a local shoe store. Let me actually see if they have. Let me call them up. Do you have Brooks? Oh, you do? All right, cool. I'll be there in a couple minutes. Here's a fun fact, by the way. If you have kids, ask them to act like they're talking on the phone. This is wild, y'all. And it 100% true with my 3 kids. They don't do what I'm doing right now. You know why? They've never had this piece of their phone. So what do? They do this. blew me away. I was like, Avonlea, my oldest, I'm like, act like you're talking on the phone. And she's like this. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, that's crazy. Anyway, nice sidebar. Let me get some coffee. So prospecting is just getting in front of your clients and getting in front of them enough times to where you either annoy them or you intrigue them to want to talk to you. It takes on average 15 to 20 touch points for somebody to make a purchase decision. Even me looking at shoes, right? I'm aware of a brand, I'm interested in it, I go to the store, I check it out, and then the evaluation happens. Like, I might be trying on a pair of Nikes and a pair of Adidas and a pair of Brooks. Well, at the end of the day, which one am I gonna buy? It's the one that's most comfortable to my feet. Everybody has different feet, so everybody has different needs. Not everybody's gonna go in and buy that pair of Brooks, okay? But at the end, they make a sale. I actually bought the Brooks and I like them, but that's how sales works. You don't have to hit home runs every single time. You're looking for base hits. Let me back up a little bit. 15 to 20 touch points. That's a lot of daggone touch points that you have to make with this person in order for them to buy something. Well, if you're world class, if you're using a lot of the pro tips that I teach, you can get that number down to 7 to 10. That's still 7 times you need to get in front of this person, potentially on different platforms. Let's say you send them a simple Loom video, okay? It's something that I teach. Again, you can go back and watch that video. Where's my... Okay. I might need more coffee. I was just looking for my phone so I can show you what I do. I'm filming on my phone right now, so sorry, I can't grab my phone. But the Loom is a simple video. I'm gonna circle back to that hot tub store. I remember this one couple in particular. They came in and the salesperson was trying to push them into the newest spot, right? They maybe drove up in a nice car, so they're like, oh, this person has money, let me sell them this hot spring tub that's like 15 grand. The first thing that this salesperson said was, come take a look at this. This has so much power. These jets will blow you off the seat. Okay, he was like going all in on this tub without ever asking questions to this person. What came out of this guy's mouth as his wife was next to him? He's like, that wouldn't work. My wife has fibromyalgia and any pressure on her back just like really hurts her. Well, it's not that this guy can't sell them a hot tub, but man, was that a weird place to start. He's fighting an uphill battle now. Then whenever these people were in the store and they would leave, most of the people left without the salesperson getting their contact information, right? So what they're trying to do is a one-call close on these people coming in to buy something that costs several $1,000s. Good luck. Ain't gonna work. They need at least, even if they're world-class, 7 to 10 touch points. So what I help them set up in their sales process, I'm like, hey, make sure you get their contact information, wait 2 hours, and then I want you to take your phone out. I want you to film a little selfie video of you in front of whatever tub they were thinking about buying, and I want you to share a couple benefits that you forgot to share with them when they were in the store. Y'all, sales increased by like 30% with all the little tips and tricks that I helped this sales team. I wasn't even trying to help them with physical sales in the store, brick and mortar. I had shifted to digital marketing. I was trying to help them with their ads, right? But it's all the same. Like the funnel is the same, whether you're in a store or whether you're online shopping. Same exact psychology behind the salesmanship, behind the marketing. And to do this business, you need to learn both. You have to be good at marketing and you have to be good at sales. The cool part is you don't have to be great at either to make an amazing living. You can just be okay. Write these numbers down. When you get on 10 calls, these discovery calls, you want at least 50% of those people to go to the next step, okay, that presentation with you. From the presentation, you only need 10% to say yes. So let's say you have 100 intro calls, okay? You want at least 50 of them to go to that next step. And you only need 5 of them to say yes. Now you have 5 clients. 5 clients in the brick and mortar world is still good. You know, most of the time they're paying you anywhere between $2,000 and $4,000 a month. You make half of that, I'll let you do the math. And again, that's a side hustle. And if you remember this video where I talk about the wonky X, as soon as that funnel's built for the client, it can work forever. There's nothing stopping funnels from generating revenue for years. And if you're making money with a brick and mortar, that's retainer every single month like clockwork for something that you're basically just monitoring, making sure it still works. There's nothing greater than making commission off of a funnel that you built years ago that's still generating, that's literally passive income. Right? It was active at the beginning. You got to put the work in to build the thing, but then it does become passive income. There are funnels that I generate revenue from I don't touch, right? On a monthly basis, I haven't done anything. Some of these funnels I don't even look at. Like I don't even check to see if they're broken or not because I know they're not broken. We see the revenue coming in and I get a commission check every single month. Then you go up the value ladder and you help your clients once they have a list of any size, you can help them sell the high ticket stuff. Now, this is the stuff over $1,000. You might be like, Evan, who's paying over $1,000? Come on. Because the algorithm's really good at YouTube, there's probably people watching me right now that have purchased online courses to know how to do what I'm talking about right now. And you've probably paid a good penny for it, right? Thousands of dollars maybe, just like me, my first course, again, $4,000. About a year later, I paid $10,000 for a higher ticket mastermind, right? And to be honest, it wasn't a whole lot of new information. I'm not going to name them. I mean, great people, but I had already kind of learned what they were teaching. At the end of the day, there's only 3 pillars, okay? There's prospecting, there's sales, there's fulfillment. And then in the inside, that's where the art comes into place. Remember, it's art and science. Once you get the science down, now it becomes art. How do I intrigue these people 2 levels down with these ads, with the creatives in the ad? 2 levels down is my clients' potential clients. So if I'm running paid ads for a chiropractor, okay, those ads that somebody's seeing, can I intrigue them, the people that might have pain in their neck, their shoulder, their back, can I intrigue them to take the next step, to click on the ad, to go to the landing page, to see an offer that is irresistible, and to give us their contact information? Once they give the contact information, I have an email sequence set up, sometimes even text messages that go out to this person. Why? I know I need at least 7 touch points for them to actually take action, come to the chiropractor, pay for the adjustment. Okay, sometimes it's a free adjustment, right? Some of these chiropractors, they have amazing lead magnets. That first offer could be come in, first time patient only, offer for a free adjustment. Well, if someone's having back pain, that's a no-brainer. Well, what happens the next visit? It ain't free. It's a normal price point, whatever that price point is. And so over time, your retainer might stay the same. Now, there's things that I teach inside of Subject Matter Expert Academy. If you're getting $4,000 in month 1, you better not be getting $4,000 in month 12, because you're making that client a good bit of money. You should be making more as time goes on, as you help them scale. Some of our clients, it's not a gradual growth, it is a hockey stick growth. And we just had a mid-year sale, this freedom sale during the July 4th date range, right? And a lot of people bought that aren't in the US. They don't even celebrate our Independence Day. They still bought it because they needed the solution to their problem. This is a trader. He's really good at futures trading. He teaches people how to do it. Well, Black Friday, I guarantee you, is going to be bigger than this month. And this was our biggest month ever. Why? Because we're on that hockey stick growth right now. He is doing great at YouTube. He's bringing in lots of new subscribers, lots of new eyeballs, lots of new awareness. And every time we do a big promo, I call it promo profits, we get to get more people down to the bottom where they pay. Here's another example. I'm an entrepreneur. I love watching other entrepreneurs do their thing online. And I watched a girl one time. She was making magnets at home. Okay, she would make these magnets. People could send in their pictures, and she would put them on these magnets. Well, she documented her journey on TikTok and on Instagram. And before she knew it, she had tens of thousands of people following her, wanting to just watch her making these magnets. She would just talk about what she was doing that day. Well, she's a perfect example of a subject matter expert, somebody that knows a skill that other people might want, right? And she was making money 2 ways. At a certain point, she got monetized. She had enough subscribers and followers on different platforms to now those platforms are paying her for views, because why? They make ad revenue from these businesses that put the ads right inside of her videos. She agrees to that, and then they pay her a portion of that. Now, the platforms get the lion's share, but that's okay. She's making some money there, and she's making money with her magnet business. So she's happy as can be. And I'm like, y'all are leaving a lot of money on the table. You could be making a lot more. You know, I remember getting on the calls and talking to her and her husband and intriguing them to, you need to put a course together. You know, and her first thought is, wait, time out. If I teach people how to make these magnets, won't people stop buying magnets from me? Isn't that my competition? I'm like, you're on the internet. You have 8 to 9 billion people. That's your audience. You'll never saturate them. I don't care if all 200,000 of your followers buy this program to learn how to make magnets. How many people take pictures every day? People never stop taking pictures, right? So there's never an end of people that are needing magnets, right? That might want these magnets. They're like, that's the wrong mindset. Trust me on this. I'm glad they did. So they start selling this course, okay? They charge $9.97. I think probably because they're a little bit worried still, like, hey, if we're gonna sell this thing, we wanna raise the price because I don't want a lot of people buying this and then, being my competition. Long story short, This person who just had fun shooting video about making magnets now makes $80,000 to $90,000 a month in side income from a digital course that they put together where they teach people how to do this business. Y'all, $80,000 to $90,000 a month, do that math. That's not counting the magnet sales. That's not counting the affiliate sales that they get when people actually buy the machine to do the magnets. They get a piece of that if they use their link. Y'all, there's no end to what people can make in this game. And again, what is this game? It's either you taking your camera just like I am, talking about things that you're knowledgeable about, right? And then at a certain point, this platform pays you to do that. And then there's the other level where you go after people that already have the audience, but they're not monetizing them. They don't have any products to sell their viewers, and they're not being able to make more money currently than what they are with just the Google ad revenue. And for most people, that's the intrigue. Hey, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, right? It's what they want the money. That's why they maybe started a YouTube channel, because they knew they could get monetized and they don't mind shooting, video, and then they want to leave their 9 to 5. And then other people that have already arrived and they have tons of followers, tons of subscribers, they want to make a bigger impact like Ryan Trahan's doing. If you position yourself right in the middle of your clients and their audience, and you make revenue share off of every sale that comes in because you're helping them to build the funnel to sell these things, your life can look very different. Last week, went on vacation, took my wife, VIP experience, to a Switchfoot concert. It's her favorite band, she loved it. Then we took the kids to hang out with cousins on a lake. I don't know if anybody's been to Greer's Ferry Lake in Arkansas. Beautiful lake. They had a great time jumping off cliffs, doing fun party barge stuff and knee boarding. They had a blast. I remember going on vacation when I worked for Target, and because I was salaried, I was an executive with them, I couldn't ever rest. Like, my vacation really wasn't a vacation because I always had to be plugged into, oh, what's my team doing? How's the store going? My mom would say this about my dad when we would go on vacation as kids. It would take him like 4 days to decompress, to finally, he was also in retail, to finally stop stressing about what was going on at work. Well, that gives him like 2.5, maybe 3 days left if we took a full week to actually enjoy himself, and then he's right back into the rat race. Y'all, today, this is basically the main thing that I have to do today, is I wanted to put this piece of content out because I woke up and I'm like, you know what? I just want to share knowledge with people. I enjoy doing this sometimes. I don't always like making content. I don't need to do this. So I look back at the analytics of YouTube and I'll have, it's weird. It's the science behind psychology. I have 8-month gaps where I don't produce any content, and then all of a sudden I'll produce all this content. It's almost like I get this creative itch. I get this like fire burning inside. I just want to share stuff, and so I'll put out a bunch of videos. I would like to keep doing this because I know for my clients, I know that consistency and frequency is key. We want to keep those subscribers going up because we have things to sell, right? We want to keep that list growing. But for me, I'm in a weird spot because I really don't need the revenue from Google. When ChatGPT first showed up on the scene, I put out this video and it got 75,000 views, like really fast. Google sent me this thing, hey, you're eligible, you can apply for monetization. I'm like, okay. I put out maybe 1 or 2 more videos after that, and I got $100 in a check from Google, which is kind of cool. And I'm like, all right, well, the amount of time and resources I take to actually think up these videos and to post this stuff, it's not worth it, right? I make a lot more with going after another subject matter expert or another brick and mortar. I can make way more. So I kind of let it go. But now I understand, because I have a program, I'll be very transparent. I have a program that helps people to do what I do. It's Subject Matter Expert Academy. And if you're interested right now, I have an amazing summer sale. It's like 90% off right now. So check it out. There's a link in the description. And then comment below with the content that you would like to hear more of. I don't want to make these videos several hours long, so I can only really hit on each topic. If you want to hear, again, the 3 pillars, prospecting, sales, fulfillment, which one of those do you want to learn more about? And I'll do it in the next video. Whatever gets the most comments, I promise I will create content for you. I do this on a daily basis, so it is no problem for me to even do some live shots of me building out funnels, helping my clients to productize their knowledge in a different way. I'll say this and then I'll end. I sound like a pastor, right? I have a pastor that will sometimes end like 3 or 4 times. It's okay. In closing, he'll say something. I'm like, yeah, he ain't closing. We got 30 more minutes. And typically I'm right, but he's great. I love my church, love my pastor. I lost my train of thought. I guess we'll end here. This is my favorite coffee mug. I got this when I was managing a Christian bookstore down in Sarasota, Florida. It's like 2001. I've never owned a Harley. but I love how this mug feels in my hand. I'm a coffee snob, like I'm a connoisseur, aficionado of coffee. I had some really good coffee on this vacation, so like kind of pumped me back into the whole coffee thing. Case in point, if I see a video about coffee, I'm watching it, I'm subscribing it, and if they can sell me something, maybe it's $27 to learn how to make the perfect cappuccino, I'm buying that thing. No questions asked, okay? Would you buy that thing? Maybe, maybe not. It's okay. They don't need to sell to everybody. See ya.